Here are 5 all-new tax deed locations to buy some dirt cheap houses. In this training, in this video today, we're going to go through and look at new locations for tax deeds houses. Maybe you want to buy some land, some commercial buildings. What we're going to do is we're going to walk you through upcoming auctions. And these auctions after can be a great place for some dirt cheap over-the-counter properties, because anytime a tax deed auction happens, whatever doesn't sell at the sale generally goes to the over-the-counter list. So this is an amazing way to buy real estate, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars below market value. Sometimes you can buy land for as little as a couple $100. Tax deed investing is one of the best ways to get into real estate, hands down, no questions asked. Now, here's the warning. The warning is sometimes you might have to put in a little bit of elbow grease. Sometimes you might go to auctions, things might get bid up. Sometimes you could research a property and maybe it doesn't go to auction. This tax lien and deed investing is a game of being scrappy. And that's what we do here on this channel. And every week we go and we show you guys auctions that are coming up to try to save you some legwork and save you some time. So these videos are live. We are live right now. It's Dustin Hahn here. And this channel is dedicated to helping new tax lien and deed investors make some money in real estate with an unconventional way and save you a bunch of trial and error. So we do that with this channel. We have over 3,600 videos. Our site, Tax Lien School, has tons of resources and articles. We want to make this accessible to anybody who wants to start. So we're excited to dive into this here today. So we're going to bring in the guys, the dream team, Mr. Josh Blanchard. How you doing?
Hello.
Hey, Dustin. Hey, everybody.
Nice shirt. Corey, folks were asking about you the other day. They're like, where's the guy in the Hawaiian shirt?
That's too nice.
Here today with a lovely background. So, yep, we've been in this game a long time, over 20 years for myself, well over a decade for both Corey and Josh. Veterans of the game. We are often at these sales every month. So, we've put together a whole bunch of sales coming up, and we're going to show you guys 5 hot new ones here today. We're going to walk you through it step by step and take action on these, because early bird gets the worm. Let's go find some of these properties you guys can hit while the iron is hot. Over to you, Josh.
All right. And there's something quick here at the start. We all know that it's Tuesday. And so Tuesday, Texas, Georgia, they're really hot. There's a lot going on. And I got wind that, check this out. This is pretty wild. This is a property that went to the auction today. Let me go ahead. I want to show it to you because it is pretty wild. Okay, check this out right here. So they're trying to rent it out for $8,753 a month. Mm-hmm. Look at the interior of this thing.
Wow.
So this is absolutely beautiful. And so this property went at the auction today because I asked, I said, were there any really, really good deals? And this one sold for about $240,000 is what I was told.
Okay.
And let me show you the ARV on this thing. Value range 736 to 973. So they said it was, yeah, they had it comped at $800,000 and it sold exactly for $240,000. So $240,000. Check out that interior. So I mean that's that's like 25 cents on the dollar. This was Harris County. Yeah.
Man, that is wild. That's the whole name of the game here and why we do this. So one of these deals can change your life forever. Imagine buying this property, 225, and it's even worth 5. You double your money, make 250,000 or make more. So this is the name of the game. And remember, we're here to get deals and make money. So we will take it in whatever, we don't discriminate any way, shape, or form. We will bid on land, we'll bid on garages, commercial buildings, wherever there is an arbitrage. So depending on where your starting point is, if you have a couple $100, you'll start with cheap land. If you have a couple 100,000, take a swing at this thing. We'll swing at this all day long. And this is just an example of a life-changing deal that can happen. This guy's probably going to make a few $100,000 off of this deal, which is very cool. It just happened today, live, just in. Josh didn't even mention to this before we went live. So this is the Texas sale. This happens every single month. So you can be going there. It's very cool. Just happened today. But we're going to continue to 5 auctions that are coming up you can follow along with. Yeah. Wow. Josh, what's
pretty wild.
That is a good one.
Pretty wild. Oh yeah, I hear some good ones too. They actually did 3 auctions. They did Harris County, which is in person, and then Montgomery, which is online, and Galveston as well, which is online. But yeah, so lots of opportunity there in Texas. Just kind of a nice little highlight to start the show. Okay, so coming up, and the best way to always be on top of this is vault.taxlienschool.com. And we've got the beautiful interactive map here, which is awesome. So I'm going to highlight one kind of right off the bat. And this is Illinois. Now, it costs money to look at the list, so we're not going to buy it live or anything like that today, but I'm going to show you exactly where you can go for these. So you'll notice that Illinois is green, tax lien state. Now, what's interesting is that they do have alternative sales where you can actually get the deed to the property. So very cool because these kinds of sales are not as common. They're not as well known because, a lot of people would just assume that all the auctions in Illinois are tax lien sales, but there are some deed sales as well. And so you can see here on the auction, these ones are coming up pretty quickly. Ford County, Illinois, tax deed auction. Kank. I wouldn't try to say it, but maybe Kankakee. There you go. Illinois, tax deed auction. Iroquois County, Illinois, tax deed auction. And I believe there is one more here in the mix, but right here are 3. And so it's really cool because you can go ahead, you can click on this, and then it's going to give you all of the information on the next page here. And so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to click the first link for the information here. And so, yeah, they do want to charge you about $5 to look at this, but all of the opening bids are $833. So pretty awesome. And that one's coming up on the 10th. Now, oftentimes what we'll do when we're looking at future auctions is we'll go ahead and look at the previous results. And so that's actually free to do right here. You can go ahead, you click auction results free for September 6th, 2024. And so the whole point is, whoa, that is light. That is a very light auction. Let's check 2023. I'm not sure what the population there is, but these are the kind of sales where you can get stuff. Yeah, so someone bought a garage for like $2,000. Someone bought a piece of land for 856. We have looked at these before, and so we've seen other lists that have had like way, way, way more as far as inventory goes. So let's go ahead and check out Iroquois County as well. This could be low population, but those are definitely auctions that you don't want to skip. Popular story about our funeral home / church / limousine business that we bought for $5,000, cash flowed for a year or 2, and then sold it for 65. That was in a small county. There's another one. There's been a lot of small counties in Arkansas that we've done. Okay, so this one has a lot more inventory, and so you can come in and you can check out what has sold. Now, a lot of these do look like vacant lots and pieces of land, but there are some that have improvements or garages. Looks like this was a 1-story frame garage and shed, 1-story frame. So a lot of sheds, a lot of pieces of land, but occasionally you will find homes on these auctions, which is pretty sweet. And a lot of this you can actually do online. Remember, $833 is the opening bid. Let's go ahead and check this one real quick too.
Josh,
Okay.
maybe we get the stream going here. For anybody who's just tuning in, let us know your name and what state you are tuning in from. We will tailor the stream as we go. So if you're Steve from Arizona, we might go off and talk about Arizona. So also put any questions you have in the chat. We'll be happy to answer them. And we just love to know who's tuning in. What's happening, Robert? Good to see you. Sam, great to see you here 24/7. Nice to see you. Oh, who's that guy? Excellent. Josh, nice to see you. Coming in from Florida. Jackie, first time live. We appreciate you tuning in. Let's see. Marco from Michigan. Sarah, good to see you here. Some familiar faces. And yeah, let us know who's here. Makes it fun. And we can be live and pivot as far as if you have any questions, we can do deep dives and all that sort of stuff while you have us live. That is the name of the game of why we're here. What's happening, James? What's happening, John from Montreal? Nice to see you. Oh, Oz. Got some Australians here. Very cool. And what's happening? Oh, just went to your first auction today in Georgia. Good stuff.
Nice.
How did it go? Let us know. Tuesday is a big day. First Tuesday of the month is always Texas and Georgia. Tons of auctions happening. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you bought, what you learned, and super exciting. JK from South Carolina. So yeah, let's go back to it. Josh has Tax Lien School, our vault on the screen. So just to get here, very simple, go to taxlienschool.com, click on Vault, Knowledge Vault, and you will have auction lists and the most valuable free resources that are around. Let's rock and roll. Oh, before we forget, we always go off of this book, which is the ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing here. So this is our guide. This is our roadmap to all of this. So anytime we go to an auction, this is in the description below for all of you guys to get for free. You should have it printed out, our gift to the Tax Lien and Deed community, with a directory as well, with all of the phone numbers and everything. Corey, I just remember we were going to do some sort of phone call in, so these guys can call in and ask questions as well. So can we get that spooled up? Maybe a line. Oh, you said the line on my phone, so we'll just walk through it.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Back to the deals.
All right. So we got a couple of these Illinois tax details. We've seen really good deals there in the past. All right. Second one we're going to show you is Pennsylvania. And so Pennsylvania has been a phenomenal place for auctions. I was talking with a student of ours, I would say like Thursday, Thursday last week, and he'd gotten 2 properties recently at the Erie County tax sale in Pennsylvania, and both properties were 10 cents on the dollar, which is phenomenal. So he started maybe with like $8,000 or something like that, and now it's about $150,000 in equity, which is pretty sweet. And so it's about being at the right places and consistency. He's been at this now maybe for 6 months, 8 months, more or less, something like that. But he was going to in-person auctions in Pennsylvania. So there's a lot of online auctions and there's also in-person auctions. So there are a few coming up here. You can see the 23rd. We've got Pennsylvania. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show this one to you. And there's also Mercer County as well. So this one is in person here, Thursday, October 23rd. Now, a quick tip about the Pennsylvania auctions is that they have 2 different kinds of sale. They have a upset tax sale and a judicial tax sale. And so first it goes to the upset tax sale. And what that does is it only wipes out the county's interest. That's it. And so tax sales do wipe out mortgages, but this particular auction is an exception. And just another reason why it's always very important to go ahead, read the statutes, look at the rules, and make sure that you're familiar first before bidding. Because if you did not know that and you went and you bought something that had a mortgage on it, that would be bad news. But that's just at the upset. So that's what this is. Then the second one, which is the judicial tax sale, that one they do wipe out the mortgages, judgments, liens, other interested parties. Always beware though of municipal liens. So we got an upset one, and it's in person here, Landingville Fire Company. And so here we got the link, which is great. And so also same thing again, you can look at final results from the previous one. So they have another one coming up. Yeah, Thursday, October 23rd. So here is a list that was last updated in September. And so again, you're going to notice that these are really, really low opening bids on the right here. And there are actually houses on this list. And there's a huge, there's like 3 into 4 pages here, more or less, 4.5 of inventory and property. Let's grab one of these just as an example. I haven't looked at any of these in advance, but let's check out 66 Gulf Road, Barnsdale. Now it is showing a garage, but it does say 7-1, 2016 square feet. Maybe we could get a picture from Google Maps. Perhaps it's that. Maybe it's not. Regrid will always be the place that you want to go to finalize that. Yeah, I mean 2,000 square feet. What we're looking at right there does not look like 2,000 square feet. Whoa, okay, so the plot thickens. My, oh my, oh my. 1.5 acres. Let's double check that parcel ID. So that's, you always want to go off the parcel ID. 2510-7. 2510-7. Oh my gosh. Wow. So it's just kind of random. You never know what you're going to draw when we just grab one of these, because it's not like we came in unadvanced and like cherry picked, but this is 1.5 acres. It looks like there's maybe 3 different properties or improvements on this. So the house and the garage and maybe something else. But that's got an opening bid of $1,500. Pretty wild.
That thing's pretty good size.
Yeah. I think maybe I'm not sure. There's a lot going on here though. You've got yeah, definitely 3 different things here on the parcel map. Yeah, wow. So, I mean, this does look like an incredible deal, right? About $1,500. But of course, if there was a $50,000 mortgage on it, maybe that's still a good deal. But you just got to factor that into the equation. And so, let's say your maximum bid is 25 grand, and there's $20,000 in mortgages. So now your new maximum bid is 5 grand, so that you can accommodate the 20 grand mortgage. But yeah, you would do a title search, but that is looking pretty awesome. So yeah, you got multiple things there. Opening bid super low. So again, this is a place that students have gotten really good deals. There was the individual who paid $250, flipped the mobile home for 15 grand. All in, he was a little under $1,000 with all the expenses. Flipped for 15 grand. That was also in Pennsylvania.
Josh, was that an over the counter? That was Calvin, right?
Yeah, that was Calvin. That was a repository list. So, I mean, the repository list is fire. These auctions that are in person are fire. You've got Philadelphia, which is fire. So, yeah, we know a substantial amount of people who have made money in Pennsylvania.
So the repository list, can you bring everybody up to speed on that?
Yeah, definitely. So, remember how I mentioned there's 2 different auctions, right? So, you've got first the upset, only the taxes get wiped. Second, you got the judicial. That's where everything gets wiped. Maybe, though, municipal liens could be outside of that. So always do your due diligence. And then the third is the repository list. And so if it makes it through those 2 auctions and nobody wants it, then it will finally go to the repository list. And at that point, the county is not even looking to get the back taxes anymore, because that was the opening bid and nobody bid on it. So their assumption is that this has to be lowered. The price has to be lowered in order for this to move. They just want to get it back into the community. They want to get someone living there. If it's a house, they want to get it fixed up. They want to do something, get it back on the tax roll. And so for those ones, each county is going to have a minimum bid that is allowed. And so some of them, it's $250. That's how that mobile home happened, because the back taxes were actually way higher. So even if the owner wanted to keep it, the back taxes would have been way more. It's not like they could just pay the $250 and redeem it, because the back taxes could have actually been like 5 grand, for instance. So yeah, at that point, they are willing to take a loss on it. And so the thing is that a lot of these properties are these sales in Pennsylvania are in person. And so that's where the competition is limited to the room. So you can get really good deals. But at the same time, those repository lists could be really juicy, because it's not like it's been on an auction that's online where everybody in the country can bid. So that's how the repository list works. And if you haven't checked it out before, I recommend it for sure.
Nice, nice. So before we continue, let's dive into a couple questions here that are popping up. And if you guys like this, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, or if you are new. I know we got a few first-time folks who are tuning in. And yeah, if you like this, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up. Helps show these videos when we go live, because YouTube doesn't always show even if you're subscribed. So this lets them know you want to learn about tax liens and deeds. So let's dive in here. Yeah, Jackie's coming in first time live. Let's see. The mentioned song, City of New Orleans by the Highwaymen. That's a great song. You guys ever heard that one?
I have not.
It's a good one. What's his name? Willie Nelson does a great version of it. It's a Good Morning America. How are you? I'm sure you've heard it. Great song. Great song. Classic. Anyways, let's get into some questions here. Can I buy in any state using a Georgia or Florida LLC, or do I need an LLC from the state that I'm buying in? So we are not doctors or lawyers. We don't pretend to be ones on the internet. We can tell you what we do. And we have one LLC, a Wyoming LLC, and we buy all over the country with that. So I would presume it'd probably be the same with other LLCs. So that is what we do. Let's see. I came across a tax deed sale for a boat slip today. Yeah, so the answer to that question is like many things. It depends, right? Like, where is the boat slip? How much are boat slips renting for? How much are they selling for? From there, is it a summer destination place? When are they going? So I think we were looking in, remember it was
Michigan.
Minnesota. Yeah. I think it was Minnesota. We found
maybe.
several boat slips. So yeah, if it's a couple $100 or a couple thousand, and maybe that thing will rent out for a few $100 per month or sell for many multiple 5, 10, 20,000 bucks, then be in the game. This is all a numbers game, right? Like, we don't discriminate where something is, and we don't discriminate what something is. Like Josh was saying earlier, we never thought we'd end up owning a funeral home and a limousine business. And it was one of our favorite deals. We didn't set out to be like, what? We want to buy a funeral home. And it just came across our plate. The numbers were good. Was it $6,100?
Yeah, $6,100
Yeah,
was
$6,100 worth 75 grand, and it rented for $1,000 a month. Like, those deals are only possible with tax liens and deeds. And we love those deals. Is that every deal? No, but you only miss out and lose in this game if you don't take action and learn. Meaning, we have lots of folks who come to us for damage control after they haven't, downloaded the book or learned anything. And then they go to an auction. They have no idea what they're doing, and then they buy something wrong. So that's why it's important to get this book below. It'll walk you through and show you how to avoid, all the dangers of the game. So yeah, don't be tied to a location. Go where the opportunity is. That's what we do here. Let's see. We've got a question. So if you bought on an upset sale by accident and there was still a mortgage, would you eventually be paid interest on the lien by the mortgage company, or how would that work? Josh, want to take that one?
Yeah, so it's the exact same process, as an HOA sale, for instance, in Texas. So it's the same thing where you buy a property and now you physically have the deed. So the deed is in your name, but the mortgage has not changed. The mortgage has not shifted hands. And so you now own the property, but there's a mortgage in the previous owner's name. And so, if you go and you try to assume or make payments on that or things like that, it's not like they're going to deal with you because you're not the one on the mortgage. So the best case scenario is if you can get in touch with the homeowner, and perhaps you can have some kind of power of attorney, or you can make payments, or you could get it assigned to you, something like that. If the homeowner is willing to help, then that could put you in a really good position. Because let's say the house is worth 100 grand, there's $10,000 left on the mortgage, and you get it for 10. So technically you're all in at 20. And then the homeowner is like, hey, I'm happy just if you make payments on this mortgage, keep it from going to foreclosure, keeps my credit intact. And so you've got less cash in the deal. You can make payments each month. It's like a subject to situation. But if you can't get a hold of them, if they're unwilling to help, things like that, and this is the scenario that you need to prepare for, that's where you're just going to have to pay off the mortgage. And so we never recommend buying a property like this unless you have the capital to pay off the mortgage. Because if the mortgage company tries to foreclose on you in 2 months, that'd be a terrible situation, because you essentially just burned your money, or you've wasted your money that went to purchase the property. So yeah, just subtract it from your max bid, or make sure that you've got the capital so you can go ahead and get it paid off, because that could grow and be a real problem. As we've seen in Harris County at these HOA sales, we've seen people buy property beyond market, maybe be underwater by hundreds of thousands of dollars, just because they're not familiar with the rules or didn't check if there was a mortgage on the property or not.
Nice. Good stuff. One of the questions that comes in sometimes is people be like, this works so good, why are you guys teaching it, right? Why aren't you saving everything for yourself? And a couple things. There are 3,300 tax lien and deed counties. On these live streams, we generally go through just a couple. There are 1,500 of these counties. We have all of the contact information in here for you guys to get. So this is in the description below, and go start making some calls, going to the website and taking action with this stuff. The next side of it is, we're no saints. the same way you like to make money, we like to make money too. And full transparency, this YouTube is a business for us. We've been in this game. We didn't start out wanting to be YouTubers. Things kind of took off. And we decided we want to provide the Tax Lien Deed community with the most free training and knowledge that is out there. And I think we're kind of unmatched in that department with our Tax Lien School having all of the articles, thousands of articles and maps, and giving away the book here that is below and 3,600 videos here. So we give you everything. And from there, we do also have a business to where if you want some one-on-one help, you can come join us at an auction. We can take you by the hand, show you where the deals are, and build you an AI if you want help doing that. So, you know, if you're somebody who wants help with implementation, that is a business that we also have. So it really raises all boats because it saves you some trial and error, maybe a year or two of trial and error. And for us, it is a business, which generally we go back and buy more real estate and things like that. So I just like to be transparent with everybody who tunes in, because there's lots of folks on YouTube who are very high on a virtue signaling horse, not acknowledging that their YouTube is a business. So spade is spade. That's where we're at here with that. But we do give away everything you need. So we're excited for that. Let's see. On to the questions. Monroe County had an upset sale September 8th, 2025. First time, just observing. Excellent. That's great. You're in the game. And one of the things that people get upset with is they go to one sale and all of a sudden, you know, they didn't get a property at their first sale and they're sad. And they say, oh, I went to the sale and everything got bid up, or the property I looked at didn't go to auction. And that's just one sale of, remember, over 1,500 tax deed sales. So you can't judge one sale or you can't judge a whole industry based on one sale. And everybody's timeline is different. For me, I got a property at my first sale. It was awesome. Some folks who tune in, sometimes they go to 5, 6, 7 sales and they don't get anything. And that's okay too. You're learning, right? And that's super important to go to these auctions, to practice, to learn the skill set. And part of the big challenge these days is the internet is a double-edged sword, because we have everything at our fingertips, but it's a million miles wide and people aren't used to being able to focus and get depth and mastery. And what that looks like for you is watching these videos, reading the books, and sometimes going to auctions just to learn. That's totally okay. But what we can tell you is if you stick with it, there can be amazing home run deals like the one that we saw at the beginning. 200 and some thousand worth 700-800 grand. That person's probably going to make at least $200,000-$300,000 off of one deal. And that's what this stuff is all about, is those big deals. Let's see. If you guys are tuning in, go ahead, put in your questions. If you like this, do the thumbs up. Helps you see this stuff so you don't miss out on future content. Helps the channel. And then from there, let us know your city, your name and city, and we can help tailor the content. So somebody's saying the auction calendar on Tax Lien School is not displaying properly. Yeah, I just messaged the tech team about that. Some pages are a little funky, so we will fix that indeed. Let's see, tons of tax deeds. Yeah, vacant land. Vacant land is a great way to get in the game. Sometimes it's super cheap. You can buy land, 50, a couple $100, flip it for a couple thousand, get your foot in the door. And there are entry points for everybody in this business, which is what makes it very, very fun. A lot of folks will come in with a lower budget, flip properties, work their way up, and away they go. Let's see here. Did we get to this one? Yeah, we already did that one. So let's see. If I see an online auction for a tax deed and it says opening bid is 10 grand, no one but me bids on the house for that amount, are there fees to pay? Well, a couple things you'd have to pay is obviously there'll be like a recording fee, which could be 50 or $100, depends on the county. So you'll record that, whatever county administrative things. The next thing you want to do immediately after is get vacant property insurance. We use farmerbrowninsurance.com because, you know, if it burns down, then obviously you want to take care of that. From there, depending if it's an expensive house, if you buy it for 10, it's worth 70 or 80 or 100, you'll want to use tax title services to clear the title so you can sell it to somebody who might want to put financing on it. So we have a video on our channel where we do an interview with tax title services, and they'll help clear the title. It can be $1,000 to $2,000, and you'll be in good shape. Let's see. Yeah, it depends on the municipal liens. Remember, this is a good warning. And one of the biggest things to be aware of are the municipal liens, because a municipal lien could be like a grass cutting lien or junk removal. And we've seen grass cutting liens for as much as $50,000. And this, once again, if you look at this with a creative mind, so say there's a property, it's worth 5,000, but there's 50,000 in grass cutting liens. Sometimes you can literally go and say, hey, I want to buy this. Doesn't make sense. You have all your grass cutting liens. Can you wipe those out? And I'll get this thing back on the tax roll and make it a productive part of communities again. And sometimes they'll do it. So you have to be creative when being in this industry. It's a game of creativity, and that allows people to get good deals and be scrappy, which is what we're all about here. Let's see. But great questions. Appreciate all of them. Let's see. Upset auctions like homeowners associations seem like good places to stay away from unless you can get an awfully good deal and proof to practice good due diligence. So this is a good point. We will bid on HOA, stands for homeowner association. And one of the golden nuggets Josh dropped one time, he's like, just because there is a property going for sale at a tax sale auction doesn't mean it's a tax sale property. Harris County is the perfect example, because in Harris County, the HOAs, the homeowner associations, use the same sheriffs that are auctioning the tax sale properties to auction and try to recoup their funds for their delinquent HOA. However, you inherit the mortgage on HOAs. Say the property earlier that sold for $240 worth $700-800. If that were going up at an HOA sale, and say it had a mortgage on it for $100,000, and you still get it for $200,000, that's still a great deal. So we do bid on those, but you just need to be very, very careful. And once again, coming back, that's why it's so important for everybody to download the book and go through everything step by step to make sure it's done correctly. Or if you're looking at one of these properties or you want some help, you can schedule a free call below and we can see about helping you, save you some trial and error, and look over the property for you. Let's see. Is the government shutdown impacting the tax deeds? Well, there was an auction today. So in many places, things are still going, but there could be some counties that are shut down. It would seem generally a lot of the government facilities that deal with taking money sometimes stay open when it comes to taxes. But don't be surprised maybe if something shut down or delayed, which could also create an opportunity when things back up. And that's why we've been liking some of the Philadelphia auctions, because they're working through backlog from COVID yet. So let's see, Josh, how many have we showed these guys so far?
We've got one more big surprise left here. We're gonna look at a couple here in Florida.
Great. If you guys are ready for the big surprise, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up on the video, make sure to subscribe, and let's go. Let's dive in to the next section.
Okay, nice. So this is for all the Florida people. This is going to be something new that we have not talked about before. And so looking at the auction calendar here, you're going to notice that there are a ton for Florida. And so each month these happen, sometimes every Wednesday, sometimes every Thursday, every Monday, etc. And so realauction.com is where the bulk of these are. You got Hillsborough, you've got Polk, you got Brevard. And so if we come over here, I'll show you realauction.com. And if I go ahead and put a filter, I'm going to go Florida. I'm going to click submit. So I'm going to show you, these are all of the counties that have auctions that are online. And so online, super convenient. It's very easy, right? You can just bid online and you can participate in those. But what we have not mentioned ever before are in-person auctions in Florida. You may think or assume that since there are 79 sales, there's less, counties than that, because some of them have tax deed sales and then foreclosure sales. But you may assume that they are all online on realauction.com. And that is not the case. So we're going to show you 3 in-person Florida auctions that are not online. And so the reason is is that there's going to be less competition because you're going to be limited to the people in the room. And so that's how you can get really good deals if you're in Florida, is go ahead, take some screenshots here. I'm going to go ahead and show you the first one. So the first one is Dixie County in Florida. And so here's just an example of what's going on. There's a whole bunch of properties that just went. There's, let's see, upcoming tax deed sales. Yeah, so we got to scroll down here. There's not many, though, that happen in Dixie County. But the thing is that when they do happen, you want to go ahead and make sure that you've got that on your radar. Also looks like we've got lands available for taxes. Nothing at this time, but you can always go ahead and keep up to date with that. So if you're in Florida, you definitely want to go ahead, save Dixie County. Let me go ahead and show you another one here, which is, where is this? Collier. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Collier in Florida as well. This one has a little bit more action. So if I go ahead and show you when these are coming, let me go ahead and let me just see here quickly. Yeah, auctions are held on Mondays at the courthouse. So this is a great auction to attend if you're in Florida or you're close by to Florida. And look how cool this is. So we got 2025, and here are all of the sales. So before the year is up, you've got the 6th was yesterday. You got the 20th, 27th, 3rd, and 17th. Looks like we've even got a lands available list. Okay, nothing at this time. So the lands available list, you definitely want to check it right after an auction because it looks like stuff would move pretty quickly there. And let me go ahead and show you the 3rd, which is Franklin. Franklin in Florida as well. So right now they don't actually have anything for tax deed sales. But again, this is something that you want to stay on top of. And once you see a sale happening, go ahead. You can drive there. I think there are 2 on the lands available list. They both look like pieces of land, perhaps. You can get them for $2,170. And so while there may be fewer sales a year, it's these ones that are in person that a lot of people in Florida may not know about because a lot of people just may go to realauction.com and then miss out on these ones that are in person. So we've got Dixie Clerk and we've got Collier. They've got some auctions coming up. So does Dixie. And then we've also got Franklin. So yeah, there's 3 auctions in person. Make sure you add those to your list.
Nice. Whenever I hear all these Florida counties, I always think of Al Bundy, think of Ace Ventura. For anybody who was around in the 90s, you might get some of those throwbacks. Polk High, Ace Ventura, Collier County, Ray Finkel. I don't think you guys were on that train, were you? You missed it?
I wasn't, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I saw Ace Ventura. Yeah, that's a good one.
Many good Florida stories and home of the Florida man. There's some good ones there. Let's see. Went to bid in PA. Does the entire amount of the taxes have to be paid if you win? Or if it's a bidding war? It depends if it's in person or if you're doing it online. When we do it online, it's 10% and you have 30 days to pay the rest. In the other counties, Josh, do they want it all up front?
Yeah, a lot of other counties will want it all up front, but there's also different kinds of auctions in the Philadelphia auction. And so the 3rd Wednesday of the month, those auctions, the opening bid is $1,600. And so there are more taxes than that, but those ones that are taking it at a loss. And so if you're referring to those ones, it's just going to be the amount that you pay the winning bid. And then the other ones should be covering, all the back taxes.
Nice. It's happening in Otis and Toronto. For anybody tuning in, maybe in Canada, it's a great business to get into. US dollars are far more valuable than the Canadian dollar. From there, did a certificate auction in May, got 4, was very picky, and one already redeemed at 5%. Very awesome. Name of the game. Great hands-off investment, secured by collateral. Tax liens are very, very cool. And for anybody who wants to find the tax lien states, we have below for free the tax lien directory. So go ahead, download the tax lien directory. You'll have all the phone numbers to the lien counties. And then from there, in the description below, just follow the instructions in the book step by step, totally free. Away we go. And I'm glad we got some folks in the house who are understanding my movie references and Al Bundy references. Good stuff. Thank you, Wendy. I have an Aunt Wendy. Good name. Let's see. Do you have a video for exit plans? Best way to line up buyers for the properties and get the tax deeds. So we do, but maybe tune in Thursday and we'll go over some exit plans for everybody. So how to find cash buyers. One of the best ways is to simply find the other people who bought at the auction or find the suckers who are paying full market value the tax deed auction. A lot of folks are like, oh, I went to an auction and everything got bid up. And I'm like, that's great. Did you get their business card? Because now if you find something even 50% market value, sell it to them for full market value. They're a cash buyer. So what we'll do here Thursday is we will go through and show you guys some cash buyer tips, do a bit of a deep dive on that. So I always like to come full circle with, the short story. Many of you guys know when I got into this business, I was working on the oil field, really not happy with life. And I went to a tax deeds seminar. Back then it was like $5,000. I had to put it on like 3 credit cards 22 years ago. And at that auction, I met a guy who was like, hey, I'm going to an auction in 3 days in Washington. Come meet me there. He was an investor. I was like, okay, sure. So we went to the auction and we looked at a whole bunch of property. And come day of the auction, my property, one of the ones that we looked at, came up and he's like, Dustin, bid on this one, bid on this one. And I was scared. I was petrified. Even though I had all of the information in the world, I'd just been to a 3-day seminar. I just spent 3 days with this guy who was a seasoned investor, millionaire from the process. And he's telling me what to do. After like walking the property, I was still too scared. And he grabbed me by the hand and raised my hand and said, bid. And I bought it. And it was 42 acres for $4,200, worth 40, sold it for $20,000. So for me personally, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't A, take action, and B, just have somebody there to straight up push me. That's what made the biggest difference. And I'm so thankful that things lined up the way they did, because I don't know where I would be today if it weren't for that person and that sequence of events that just happened, for me taking a bit of a risk, going to a seminar, being scared out of my mind, maxing out 3 credit cards, and then having to sell my snowmobile to get money to go to the auction, which I love so much. And then having somebody raise my hand and get a property at my first auction, I probably wouldn't be here today. So for you guys, depending on what boat you're in, we have this below. It's free, but maybe you want some help like I needed when I went to this business. Somebody to be there with you at an auction or help raise your hand or help you get into the business and save some trial and error, or just be there to look over your properties and help you make good decisions, avoid the bad mistakes. So there's a link below. You can schedule a free call. We can help you get a deal within 30 days with our help if you want. Totally free, or you can come join us at a sale. So that's in the description below. Once again, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We'll be here Thursday. Thumbs up if you like this, subscribe. Always get the book if you don't have it. This is our guide, and we appreciate everybody. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Ciao.
See you, everybody.